The dark side of Reddit relationships. Confessions that will haunt you.
Our daughter said that my partner to 8F is her mother and I 27F am not. My partner said she just told her the truth and it doesn't matter, but why would she say something like this, and how do I deal with it? My partner and I have been together for 9 years. It isn't legally recognized to be married where we live, but we would be if we could. I know some people would assume we have commitment issues or something like that, but that's the way it is. We have 2 daughters, one is 4 and the other is 6 months old. Biologically, they are completely hers. Other than the donor, we do not know their identity, but our children can request it as adults. We had it done in a neighboring country because they are hesitant about doing it for people in our situation here. I love children, but I didn't want to be pregnant, and it's a very long process. She did want to, so it worked out well. I am in the postgraduate stage at the moment of being a doctor. It's what I've always wanted, and it's important to me that we are in the position where our children can do whatever they want in the future as well. I also really enjoy it. It's interesting, and while it's a lot of work, it's worth it to me. I do try to help and spend as much time with the children as I can. It can be hard though, because of the hours I have to work. Some of my colleagues are more understanding. I am lucky to work in quite a modern place, so I do get better hours most of the time, but it still isn't ideal. I try to at least help either every morning or evening. I bath them, I dress them, I read to them, I play with them, I take them places. I really do try to be as present as possible. I don't want to be the parent who's always working. I also try to help my partner, obviously. I clean, I cook meals, I do those sorts of things as well. About a week ago, I was putting our older daughter to bed. She said, "Why is my partner?" I will use that because she calls us both different names, which is both personal and it would get confusing with you, and not my father. I said that we have talked about this. And she said yes, and my partner had said to her, I'm not her mother, and she is, and that she doesn't understand why my partner was weird and was with me and not her father. Obviously, children can get confused. So I talked to my partner and asked why our daughter said this and why she thought this. We have discussed with her before when she has asked how it works, why she has 2 mothers, and it never involved who was the real mother. She knows my partner gave birth to her. She's seen photos of her pregnant and things like that, but she's little. She doesn't really understand what that means. My partner said she had just told her the truth when she had asked, and I asked why. She said that we can't lie and act like we're the same, because we're not, and it's only going to confuse her. I said that she's not confused. That her father is irrelevant in this because he's not her father, and all she did was center everything around her and act like I don't matter. She said I'm making it into something significant when it's not. And that she did far more than I have ever done, and that neither of our children would be here without her. And that's true, but it feels like she doesn't care about everything I have done. And the worst thing for me is that she would tell our child these sorts of things. It really upsets me that now she might see as different, and that's all because of what she said to her. I don't know why she suddenly thinks so differently to me when we never had this before. Maybe there's something I can't see. Maybe something is wrong. I don't know, but I didn't think there was. I'm just confused. It's not like her.
Story 2.
We kept on going in circles. We'd break up and then have 3 months of bliss until it was back to hating each other and starting over. I knew I didn't want to be with him like 6 months in, but I still had crazy feelings for him. He told me one day that he would leave when we were fighting to make me beg for him, and I was so mad. A couple weeks down the road, we had a fight, and he walked out, just like he always did, and I asked him to come back. He didn't, so I told him we were over and to not come back. He didn't believe me because we had already done this like 8 times, but I was serious and never let him come back. It's been for years now, and since that moment, I've only seen him once, so he could pick up his shit and leave. It took me 2 years to gain the confidence to get rid of him, and I wasted 3-ish years with him. I still don't know if I found the right one, but we've been together for 3 years, and moving in at the end of August. I got lucky with him and was set up by a friend who thought we'd make a good match.
Story 3.
My husband started a relationship during my treatment for my brain tumor with someone from our pharmacy, started hitting me out of anger, left me and my daughter's foresaid person, married her a week after our divorce finalized. New wife sued me for emotional distress because she was upset he was convicted of domestic battery and sued my 12-year-old autistic child for emotional distress because she was mean to her.
Story 4.
My ex thankfully messed up his life so damn much. He's in prison for the next 10 to 30 years, so no drama, but just going after him for child support was drama. I got blamed for not filing in paperwork I was never told to hand in. They couldn't find him the first time I filed, so I paid one of those background check services to track him down. Ugh, I don't even want to remember.
And just when I finally won my case, he decides to shoot his sugar mama in the head. She survived, although she's not quite the same. So, no child support. My son is 9 years old and all I ever gotten was $100. That's it. But at least I have my peace and quiet and I don't have to share him with anybody, thank goodness.
Story 5.
After 21 years of marriage, 25 as a couple, she became an alcoholic. Childhood traumas she wouldn't deal with made her become drink dependent for the last 3 years of the marriage and pushed me to breaking point. Mainly because she refused to admit there was a problem. We divorced, which she did everything she could to drag out and make acrimonious. My children, now grown, came and lived with me. She died of liver and multiple organ failure within 4 years of the divorce. While highly stressed at the time, the whole thing makes me sad now.
Story 6.
We were married for 12 years. Just had our first baby after buying our dream home. She was in a wheelchair due to childbirth complications, and I was caring for her full-time and taking care of the baby. After 6 weeks of paternal leave, I went back to work. She met some loser in an online video game and they spent all day, every day talking. We were locked down during COVID, and she never met him in real life. I found out what was going on when the pornographic videos she was filming of herself in our house to send to him synced to tablet we shared in the living room. We were in divorce proceedings before our baby was 1 year old.
Story 7.
Together nearly 23 years, married for 18. Found out at Easter she was cheating on me. The emotional trauma is unlike anything I've experienced in my life, and both my parents and brother died. I eat half a meal a day. I've lost 30 pounds in 2 months. I can't focus at work. I'm lucky to be able to take a 3-month stress leave. I wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. with panic attacks and dry heaves. I start shaking randomly, and I can't concentrate on any distractions like podcasts, music, video games, or TV shows. Getting out and walking or talking with friends is the only thing that helps. Every cell in my body wants to get as far away from her as possible, but we have 3 young boys. I'm not leaving, and a house that was intended to be my inheritance before we bought it from my mom. A home that's been in the family for 70 years, so that'll be an expensive legal battle.
Story 8.
First 8 years were great. Then she got weird. What she herself had called an amazing marriage suddenly wasn't great. She rewrote history, blamed me. I got us in counseling, spent vast sums of money, made all the changes she wanted. It was a year of hell. Then the counseling worked. Things got better. Then one day 11 years in, she gave me a big hug, said she loved me, and said she needed to run to the grocery store. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang and I was served papers. Long story short, her lawyer turned the divorce nasty. She demanded insanely intrusive discovery. Once she refused to retract it, I demanded the same of her. That discovery process uncovered 4 separate affairs that began at the 8-year mark. When the settlement was finally agreed upon, she changed her mind and wanted to stay married, refused to sign the papers. I was a hard no on that and kept the pressure on. So 6 figures in legal fees and 7 figures in asset split later, here I am.
Story 9.
I am going to be as fair and honest as possible. I was married 20 years. No infidelity, even out of war. She would say I was a great father. I am a good earner and worked the entire time we were married. No physical abuse. Normal marital bliss. Relationships take work. So the first 10 years I did all the work, and generally she did too amongst the normal gender roles and relationships. Around that time, after we had kids, She sort of got in this mode where our relationship seemed to not matter. We were about 35 at this time. She would have been happy living parallel lives. And if I accepted that, we would still be married. Me being happy didn't matter. Almost like she just wanted to go through the motions till we die, without us really being a couple. That was in the sex department, but it was really all over. Over the next 10 years, I tried to bridge the gap, to let her know what was important to me. She would not budge. Over that 10 years, bitterness started to grow. Fights started to be prolonged. I started pulling away the things that I was doing to make it all work. She eventually got to the point where I was not worth the hassle, and we are divorced. I want to make clear, there was her side, and then there was my side. I did not all of a sudden go crazy. I would never have been able to leave my kids. I was serious about her and loved her, and was intent on making it work. It really taught me a lot. First, it doesn't matter how good you are or how hard you work. The children won't matter, and the impact on them. People are only looking out for themselves. They are not looking for compromise. So your efforts will not be appreciated in the end if you are not meeting their needs. They won't meet you halfway. I think once she had all the kids she wanted, she just kinda checked out, and I wasn't needed anymore. And in her risk evaluation, she knew I would maintain being a good dad to her kids, and I would financially help her. To her, I was just emotional baggage to life. A chore she had to deal with, and the chore outcome was not worth the effort she would need to put out.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.